Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana. Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jai Om Vishnupad Brahman Parivrajakacharya Stotra Shashi Srimati Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrind Ki Jai. Jai Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai. Shri Caitanya-Caritāmṛta Ki Jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande. Hare Krishna. We'll first recite that 13.150. Jayo Jayo Shri Chaitanya Jayo Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jayo Jayo Shri Chaitanya Jayo Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jayo Jayo Shri Chaitanya Jayo Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna. So we are reading from Sri Caitanya-Caritāmṛta Madhya-lilā, chapter 13, verse 150. You can repeat behind me. Balramlila Prabhu, Yaduvar Prabhu को chair दे दी. Yaduvar Prabhu chair दे दी. ब्रजवासी यत जन माता पिता सखा गण सबे है मोर प्राण साम. तार मध्ये गोपीगण साक्षात मोरा जीवन तुम्ही मोर जीवनेरा जीवन ब्रजवासियत जन माता पिता सखा गण सबे है मोर प्राण साम तार मध्ये गोपीगण साक्षात मोरा जीवन तुम्ही मोर जीवनेरा जीवन Hare Krishna, yeah. Mothers? Okay, yes, Sham Sundar, we can say. तार मध्ये गोपीगण साक्षात मोरा जीवन तुम्ही मोरा जीवनेरा जीवन. Yes, mothers. ब्रजवासियत जन माता पिता सखा गण सबे है मोर प्राण सामा. Taramade Gopi Gana Shakshat Mora Jivana Tumi Mora Jivanera Jivan. Word to word meaning. Vrajavasi Yatajan, all the inhabitants of Vrindavan Dham, Mata, mother, Pita, father, Sakhagan, boyfriends, Sabe, all, Hai, are, Mora Prana Sam, as good as my life, Tar Madhe, among them, Gopigan, the gopis, Sakshat, directly, Mora Jivan, my life and soul, Tumi, you, Mora Jivanera Jivan, the life of my life. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation. Sri Krishna continued, all the inhabitants of Vrindavan Dham, my mother, father, cowherd boyfriends, and everything else are like my life and soul. And among all the inhabitants of Vrindavan, the gopis are my very life and soul. Among the gopis, you, Srimati Radharani, are the chief, therefore you are the very life of my life. Purport. Srimati Radharani is the center of all Vrindavan activities. In Vrindavan, Krishna is the instrument of Srimati Radharani. Therefore, all the inhabitants of Vrindavan still chant Jai Radhe. From Krishna's own statement given herein, it appears that Radharani is the queen of Vrindavan and that Krishna is simply her decoration. Krishna is known as Madan Mohan, the enchanter of Cupid, but Srimati Radharani is the enchanter of Krishna. Consequently, Srimati Radharani is called Madan Mohan Mohini, the enchanter of Cupid. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Caitanya Manobishtam Sapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakham Vitamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dhinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhu Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So, first of all, my heartfelt gratitude to all of you for being here and giving me this opportunity to share something on Sri Caitanya-Caritāmṛta this morning. I especially seek the blessing of all the senior devotees who are here, Srila Prabhupada disciples, Yadupar Prabhu, and all other very senior devotees, I seek your blessings to be able to say something meaningful and inspiring, and thus purify my own self. So this is actually a verse spoken by Krishna in glorification of Krishna is speaking this to Srimati Radharani and saying that all the Brajvasis are very dear to me. Among the Brajvasis, the Gopis are very dear to me, even more dear. And you, Srimati Radharani, you are the dearest most to me. So in this way, Krishna is speaking this verse, and Prabhupada is saying Srimati Radharani is the center of all Vrindavan activities. Krishna is simply an instrument of Srimati Radharani. She is the Vrindavaneshwari. Krishna is like her decoration, her ornament. Okay, so it's a very high esoteric purport given by Prabhupada. I do not have qualification to speak on such high topics. But since Prabhupada is speaking about it over here, so taking the dust of the lotus feet of all assembled Vaishnavas, I will speak a little bit about, in the context of this verse, about the glorious quality and mercy of Srimati Radharani. So, the first point that is coming in this verse is Brajavasi Yatajan Mata Pita Sakhagan Sabe Hai Mora Pranasam. The Brajavasis are very dear to the Lord. We all go to Braja. I had some opportunity to stay in Braja for some time. There was some particular service I had, and I went to Braj. And for a few days I was staying in Barsana, again with the particular service. And I was interacting with one family, Brajvasi family, and a very sweet family, and they had a small child. So I had made some cookies, and I took it. I thought I will distribute to Brajvasis, get their blessings. So I gave this cookie to this child. And I said, please have this cookie. And this child went behind the table. Kind of, it was a small child, 4 or 5 years child. He went behind the table, then he was no longer visible to me. And I asked his father, where is he going? Why is he not eating cookie? His father said, he is going to offer it to Shriji first. Right? He has gone to make a bhoga, offer it, then only we'll have. Oh, I was very, I was surprised, I was shocked to see this child's devotion who was blessed by Srimati Radharani. And we know that how Srila Prabhupada also, his father, in his childhood would invite many sadhus at home and would feed them prasadam, would give them dakshina, and then he would ask the blessings from the sadhus. And Prabhupada says many of them were smoking beedis outside sometimes. I would see them, they would smoke. They were not even genuine sadhus many a times. Most of the times. But still Prabhupada's father would invite them, serve them, and ask for a blessing. What's that? May my son become a devotee of Radharani. His father would ask these blessings. So that has been his father's constant attempt, so that may Abhay be blessed by the mercy of Srimati Radharani. So even though one important thing we learn over here is, sometimes even though the sadhus were not genuine at that point of time, Prabhupada himself said, most of them, but still because his father had this faith and his father has sincerity in seeking the blessing of Radharani, Prabhupada indeed got so much blessed. So many a time, sometimes we may say that the scripture describes we should serve senior devotees, advanced devotees, pure devotees. I don't see pure devotees around as such, and so on and so forth. But it is our faith that there are advanced devotees, they are following in the footsteps of pure devotees, I want to serve them. our faith, our own sincerity of purpose yield result. Even if there's something lacking on the other side, just like the sadhus may not be so genuine, but he had that deep faith and he did that seva with deep sincerity. So then it was reciprocated by the Lord. So Krishna is attracted by the sincerity of our purpose. We receive result as per the sincerity of our purpose, the sincerity, the attitude in which we perform bhakti. So in this way, we see that how Prabhupada's father, indeed, because of his prayers, he made Abhay as the recipient of Radharani's special mercy, and that was evident how he then, expanded the Krishna consciousness movement, the glories of Krishna being blessed by Srimati Radharani. So the Brajvasis are very dear to Krishna. I was just saying that how I had the opportunity to stay for some time, and then I was traveling in a local auto. Right? In the Braj, if you see, the people commute locally through these auto rickshaws, and this auto rickshaw sitting capacity is, 3-seater usually, which is the government sanctions driver plus 3. You may be surprised, it is sometime more than 20 people sitting. What is sanctioned as 3, then they put extra seats and extra table, then people are hanging around. There were at least 20 people in this auto rickshaw. And so I was tight packed, and most of them were Brajvasis. I was traveling in that local auto. And these Brajvasis were talking among themselves. So regular things. And suddenly, so I was just thinking that I was trying to curiously listen to their talks, Brajbhasha. And suddenly this one elderly Brajvasi, he yawned. And while yawning, he said, Radhe. Right? So he chanted the name of Radhe. I very distinctly remember. And I was again, reminded that actually these Brajvasis are not ordinary. They are very special devotees. Who in this world chant the name of Radharani while yawning? So these Brajvasis chanted the name of Srimati Radharani, so that the Brajvasis have a spontaneous attraction towards Radha and Krishna. There is another very beautiful incident. Once we were on a Vrindavan Yatra with the Radhanath Swami Maharaj, and we had, that time it was a small yatra, just 50 buses. Right? And now there are many more, probably 200 buses nowadays. So the small one, the 50 buses, around 2,500 devotees were on a yatra. Then we parked all the buses in one empty field, and we didn't took anyone's permission or something. It was some Brajvasi's field. We parked all the 50 buses. And this Brajvasi, his name was Pitambar Lal Brajvasi, Pitambar Lal Brajvasi. And then he came to where the devotees were sitting. Maharaj was giving katha, and he came to this place. And some devotees, when they found that it is his plot and everything, so after the class, they introduced him to Maharaj. And Master Maharaj, we use his, field for parking, and he has come to seek your blessings. And he offered his pranams to Maharaj, and he said, today, Radharani has blessed me. Today, thousands of Vaishnavas have put their lotus feet on my field. And he said, this year the crop will be very good. So then he was expressing his gratitude, how, just the presence of so many Vaishnavas, and especially they all put their lotus feet on my land. I'm so blessed. Then Maharaj spoke on the microphone. And then he announced that how this Brajvasi, what is his feeling, his sentiments. And then he said, if we had done this back in US, parked 50 buses, one bus in someone's land, they would have shot you by now. They would be out with the guns. And this Brajvasi is coming and saying, I've been blessed by Radharani. Right? Then he pointed out, this is the difference between Brajvasis and other common people of this world in general. So once there was one person, he had shifted to west from India. US. And after a short while, again, Radhanath Maharaj was traveling in US, and this person spoke to Maharaj, said, Maharaj, the roads here are so good, so wide. I really love driving here. India had a horrible experience of driving. So then Maharaj just told him that, he said, yes, the roads are very good, but they lead you nowhere. Then he said, the roads in India are bad, but every road leads you to some temple. Right? Actually, if you just, you miss your some way, etc., every road practically will lead to some temple, especially in Vrindavan. Right? Practically on every road there will be multiple temples. So Vrindavan is that place where every home is a temple, practically. Every home is a temple. So, though the roads are bad, right? Again, but it leads you to the highest destination. Those roads lead to the highest destination. So this is some thoughts about the glories of the residents of Vrindavan. Now it's described, after that, the verse talks of Vrajavasi Yatajan, Mata Pita Sakhagan, Sabe Hai Mora Pranasam. They all are very dear. Taramad De Gopigan, Sakshat Mora Jivan. But the gopis are my very life and soul. So Prabhupada has used 3 adjectives here. The Brajvasis are my life and soul, and the gopis are my very life and soul, and you, Srimati Radharani, are the very life of my life and soul. Right? So increasing degree of superlative adjectives. So we just discussed briefly the glories of the Brajvasis, and the gopis of Vrindavan, they are even more dearer to Krishna. Of course, these gradations are transcendental. We should know that when in Bhakti, when say this rasa is superior, Vatsalya is superior to Sakhya, or Madhura is superior to Vatsalya, when we talk of gradations, superiority, this is a transcendental gradation. One thing is superior does not mean other thing is inferior. So each rasa is perfect and complete. But still there are transcendental gradations. But when in this world we think this is superior, means something lacking in the other. This is superior means there is something inferiority because it's a world of dualities. But that's not the same. So something is superior in the transcendental realm, but the other thing is not inferior. That's also perfect and complete. So therefore all the Brajvasis they're very dear to Krishna. They're all perfect and complete. But still the gopis are dearer. There's a transcendental gradation over here. The gopis are dearer. Tar madhya gopigan sakshat mora jivan. Therefore they are my very life and soul. Krishna specially sends Uddhava to Vrindavan to witness the love of the gopis of Vrindavan. So it's the Dwarkavasis, they had some little pride that we are great devotees, therefore Krishna is staying with us. Krishna is staying with us. So when Uddhava was very close companion, so Dwarkavasis considered themselves to be very intimate devotees of Krishna, recipient of his great mercy. Indeed they were, but there was some little pride. Of course the pride of the great personality is also Krishna's pastime. Krishna wants to unfold some lesson. So there was this pride in the hearts of Dwarkavasis. And therefore on the pretext of sending message, Krishna sends Uddhava to Vrindavan because Uddhava's opinion is most respected. Whatever Uddhava will say, all the Dwarkavasis would immediately believe. Because he was none other than he was from Brahaspati school. He was a disciple of Brahaspati, which is like more prestigious than Oxford or Cambridge. Right? He's a Brahaspati Shishya directly. So therefore his opinion, he is so qualified. His opinion is taken as the final, and he is Krishna's advisor also. So therefore even he had the reputation that even Krishna takes advice from Uddhava. So Krishna sent Uddhava that you go to Vrindavan and give this message. And when Uddhava witnessed, he witnessed the love of the Brajavasis, he concluded that we have been falsely thinking that we are the devotees of Krishna or we love Krishna. I have realized that we have no love for Krishna. This is called real love. So the definition of love was redefined. So Uddhava understood what is actually love for Krishna, and I have absolutely no love for the Lord. Therefore, understanding that, he yearned that I should also have a similar love. And for that, what can be done? I want to have the dust of the lotus feet of the gopis. If I'm blessed with their dust, then I can have that kind of love also. Then he thought that if I ask for the dust of the gopis, they will feel very embarrassed. So I want to have dust in such a way that I get the dust and I also do some service. Basically, when we say, the dust of the devotee's lotus feet, it should be obtained in a service attitude. So he wanted to render some service and be blessed by the dust, not just, sometime steal it away somehow or the other, etc. So therefore he thought, let me serve the lotus feet and then be blessed by the dust of the lotus feet. And therefore he desired to become a blade of a glass or gulmalata, so that the blade of grass will provide a soft ground for the gopis to walk, and then he will also be automatically blessed with the dust of the lotus feet, so that he can advance in his bhakti. So he glorifies by saying that you have attained such love which is unparalleled in the three worlds, and your glorification of Krishna purifies all the three worlds. Yasam hari kathod gitam punati bhuvanatrayam. And he says that Vande Nandavrajastri Nam Padarenu Abhikshnasha Yasam hari kathod gitam punati bhuvanatrayam. So he says, Uddhavaji's prayer, Vande Nandavrajastri Nam Padarenu Abhikshnasha. I constantly worship the dust of the lotus feet of the gopis of Vrindavan. He expresses his cherished desire to become a blade of grass or a gulmalata, and he says, till I receive the fulfillment of my desire, I will worship the dust of their lotus feet continuously, right, in my mind. I will worship the dust of the lotus feet, because their glorification of the Lord, their love, is increasing the good fortune of the three worlds. Just imagine. So they are sitting in one corner of Vrindavan and expressing, hearing and chanting about Krishna, expressing their love. He says their love is increasing the good fortune of the three worlds. That is the power of the love of the pure devotees. So in this way, Uddhava glorifies the gopis of Vrindavan, and he witnesses this love. He goes back and he glorifies this love back in Dwarka, and then all the Dwarka Vasis, their subtle pride in their heart that we are great devotees was actually removed. This was the Krishna's strategy also, to glorify the love of the gopis through the Uddhava. Then Krishna is saying, but amongst all the gopis, Srimati Radharani, you are the very life of my life and soul. So we'll briefly discuss the glorification of Srimati Radharani. Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami says that there are Jai Shri Shri Radha Gokulan Ki Jai. So I'm just reminded, I'm looking at the Radharani's lotus hand. Lord Shiva has sung Kripa, Radha Kripa Katash Ashtakam, where he says, Vara Bhaya Smrut Kare Prabhut Sampada Laye. This hand of Radharani is bestowing plentiful blessings. Right? So always remember that we are receiving, when we see this hand, this is Varadhast. Vara Bhaya Smrut Kare. She has revealed her lotus hand to shower infinite blessings upon all of us. Right? So, seeking that blessings, I will speak something about the glorification of Radharani now. So Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami says there are three energies. Krishna has three energies: internal, external, and marginal. Bahiranga Shakti, Antaranga Shakti and Tathastha Shakti. Amongst the internal energy, there are further three divisions. That is Samvit, Sandhani, Samvit and Haladhani. Samvit is that, the Krishna's, all the existence, all the abode, everything else is manifested. It's eternal, but still it is manifested by Sandhani Shakti, and the cognizance is Samvit, and the Haladhani is the Shakti which gives pleasure to Krishna. So, it is described, Haladhani rasar prema, prema sara bhav, bhavera param kashta nama mahabhav. The essence of Haladhani Shakti is prema. Haladhani rasar prem, prema sara bhav. The essence of prema is that loving sentiments. This bhava is just before mahabhav. This bhava is in the 9 stages. Before prema is the bhava, 8th stage. But further development of prema are the 7 further stages. And in that, the second last, just before mahabhav, is another stage of bhav, which is much more exalted. This is in the sadhya bhakti stage. So, the essence of Haladhani rasar prem, prem sar bhav, bhavera param kashta, when that intense loving affection becomes condensed, it is mahabhav. And then Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami says, Mahabhav sarupa Shri Radha Thakurani Krishna Gunakhani Sarva Gunakhani Krishna Kanta Shiromani. So Mahabhav Sarupa, she is the personification of Mahabhav. So the highest most, the condensed most, the intense most love is personified as Srimati Radharani. And her life is fully dedicated. He says, actually, every word, activity, every thought, the whole existence of Srimati Radharani is for the pleasure of Krishna. She is wholly and solely dedicated to fulfill Krishna's desire. There's a beautiful verse we'd like to recite in glorification. It's a very sweet verse in glorification of Radharani. You could sometime recite for her pleasure. Karan Prabhu, can we display that Govinda Nandini 4 point, the CC verse? Yeah. So you can repeat behind me. Govinda Nandini Radha Govinda Mohini Govinda Sarvasva Sarva Kanta Shiromani. Govinda Nandini Radha Govinda Mohini Govinda Sarvasva Sarva Kanta Shiromani. So she is the one who gives pleasure to Krishna, Govinda Nandini, and Radha Govinda Mohini, she enchants Krishna. Govinda Sarvas, she is the be-all and end-all of Lord Govinda. And of all the lovers of Krishna, she is Shiromani, the crest jewel of all lovers. So this is a beautiful verse in glorification of Radharani. And it's described, Sukadeva Goswami has described her glories in Srimad Bhagavatam, although it doesn't reveal her name directly, but by saying Anaya Radhito Runam. She is the one who is worshipped. So therefore, she is the original pujari of Krishna. So all the pujaris should remember that. Right? She is the head pujari, or she is the original pujari, and we all, in that parampara we come. Because Anaya Radhito, actually the word Radha is, the root word is worship, Aradhana. It's coming from there. So she is the worshipper, she is the original pujari of Krishna. Anaya Radhito Nunam Bhagwan Haririshvara Yanno Vihaya Govinda Pritoyam Anayadraha. So this is very important verse where Srimati Radharani's service and her name is indirectly revealed by Shukadeva Goswami. And therefore, Radha is one who offers the best worship to Krishna, and the word aparad is just the opposite of that. Aparad. Aparad means just like Siddhant, Apsiddhant. Radha, best form of worshipper, best form of worship, and aparad means just the opposite. So when we offend, we do aparad, any kind of aparad, it is totally against the mood of Srimati Radharani. We are actually displeasing her. So this aparad therefore is most dangerous because we lose mercy of Srimati Radharani through aparad. Right? It's just opposite of her name. The word Radha is there in aparad, R-A-D-H-A, A-P-A. So therefore this is something we should always very consciously avoid. And if you are avoiding that and having the mercy of Srimati Radharani, our spiritual life will be very successful. So there is a beautiful story. If we go on a parikrama of Radha Kund, just before we enter Radha Kund parikrama, there is a place called Sankhri Khor. Sankhri Khor. This is a place where one jackal, right? One she-jackal, she was, being tormented by local children and so on and so forth, and she entered a hole and they had set a fire. So she was crying, right? She was crying. And Lalita Devi and other herds, they heard her crying, the she-jackal, and immediately went and they put out the fire and they brought the she-jackal at the lotus feet of Radharani. So Lalita Devi said, anyone who has taken shelter of Radharani, her dham, in any way, that person cannot suffer like this. So that person cannot suffer like this. So therefore, they brought this she-jackal to Radharani's lotus feet, and she actually received, all her suffering went far away, and she received, the complete blessings and mercy of Srimati Radharani and became eternally happy. So therefore, Srimati Radharani is also the personification of devotee care. Right? So all the devotees take shelter of her lotus feet, all the Brajavasis. So I have come here for that purpose, and I always pray to Srimati Radharani that I can serve your devotees. That will be your great blessings, right? Because she is the Lord and Master of the devotee care. So Prabhupada also wrote a very beautiful stanza in her glorification. Krishna tab punya habe bhai, e punya kori be jabe Radha Rani khushi habe, dhruva ati boli tumatai. Oh brothers, the Supreme Lord Krishna will bestow virtue upon you, but he will do this only when Srimati Radharani first becomes pleased with you. This I surely declare to you. So, Prabhupada had a very sweet relationship with Srimati Radharani. We know how ISKCON London, the very first deities, Radha London Ishwar, and I just heard from devotees that they were actually the very first big deities in ISKCON, Radha London Ishwar. So we know how they arrived. We all know the story. And Prabhupada told how Srimati Radharani's finger had got broken. And later when Mr. Goyal, he said, oh, this finger has got broken, we cannot install the deities. But Prabhupada told the devotees, actually Radharani has tricked Mr. Goyal. We will fix the finger and she will be fully present. So it is the trick of Srimati Radharani. So she wanted to come with us and she has brought Krishna also. So this is what Prabhupada told. So therefore it is Srimati Radharani's plan, her mercy, that Radha London Ishwar, they both manifested here in London, the very first deities, not just in London but in the entire ISKCON, the big deities. And then Prabhupada was visiting Paris, and then looking at Radharani, Prabhupada said, Radharani is so beautiful, just like a Paris girl. And Krishna has come here to find out this most beautiful of all the gopis. So therefore he will be Paris Ishwar. This is the logic behind naming Krishna as Paris Ishwar. He has come behind. She is a beautiful Paris girl. And we know that of all the temples, Srimati Radharani especially has appeared in the most beautiful and splendid form at ISKCON Vrindavan. ISKCON Vrindavan. So, and not just that, ISKCON Vrindavan land was obtained by the mercy of Srimati Radharani. Because Mrs. S, Mrs. S. Raf, I think, she decided to donate the land, but her husband and other family member objected. And then Prabhupada pushed the point, no, see, look, you have promised, it must be executed. Then they said, okay, let the decision be up to Radharani, the ISKCON Vrindavan land. We'll put us 2 slips in front of Radharani. Yes, no. So that was the final decision. Her husband agreed on this. Let Radharani decide whether this land goes to Vrindavan or not. Although her wife, it was on her wife's name, she wanted to give, she promised, but the husband objected. Finally, it was settled that decision will be taken by Radharani. And so in front of her, these 2 slips were put, these 2 chits, and then they were asked to, pick it up. And what did it come? Yes. And that's how the ISKCON Vrindavan land. So ISKCON Vrindavan land has been donated to Prabhupada by none other than Srimati Radharani. But it's her decision. Once Prabhupada was at Kumbh Mela, and he saw that there was not sufficient arrangement for the cooking and distribution of prasadam. And he asked the devotees, why there is no stock of grains, this, that, etc. So the devotees expressed, there is some shortage, lack of funds. Prabhupada said, Lakshmi is kitchen in charge. Radharani is kitchen in charge. How can there be any shortage? How can there be any wants? Right? And he said, only Srimati Radharani will manage everything perfectly only if you all don't mismanage. And to that extent, he kind of chastised the devotees that there cannot be any shorts and wants. We want to serve, and she's the kitchen manager, she's Lakshmi, Lakshmi is her expansion. Therefore, there cannot be any shortage. Prabhupada, when he would not have the next month rent to pay, he would still cook a 10-course feast, right, for the devotees. Right? And there was no shortage. He had such deep faith that yes, Radharani mercy is abundant. She will supply everything when we want to serve her devotees. We want to serve her devotees. So this was the deep faith Prabhupada had. And there was no shortage for Prabhupada any point of time. I will just recall this another very beautiful pastime which shows Prabhupada's very sweet relationship with Srimati Radharani. This is story narrated by Tungabhadra Devi, Srila Prabhupada disciple. So she said, among many other things, Srila Prabhupada taught his disciple how to worship the deities of Lord Krishna and his eternal consort, Srimati Radharani. So one thing he always encouraged the devotees, dress the deities very opulently, offer opulent bhoga to them. So then once Tungabhadra Devi, she made a new outfit, 1972 in Bombay. So, and when Prabhupada walked into the temple, he saw the deities are in new outfit. He smiled very broadly. And then he offered his prostrate obeisances. Now just imagine, Prabhupada is looking at Radha Ras Bihari and he's smiling very broadly to see them in nice outfits. And he offered his obeisances, prostrate obeisances. While offering obeisances, Prabhupada lifted his head up and looked at Radha Ras Bihari again, right? While lying on the ground in prostrate position. He looked at Radha Ras Bihari and again smiled very broadly. And then he got up and again started looking intently at Radha Ras Bihari. And the devotees saw that Prabhupada is visibly very pleased to see the deities in their new outfits. And then devotees pushed Mother Tungabhadra Devi, near Prabhupada, and they told that she is the one who has stitched this new outfit. And then Prabhupada looked at her, Prabhupada smiled very broadly, and he said, thank you so much. Make thousands of such outfits for Radha Ras Bihari, he said. Make thousands of such outfits. In 1972, hardly any resources. And then he said, and always make Radharani more beautiful than Krishna. Then Krishna will never leave. So in this way, Prabhupada exemplified and he taught us to be devoted, especially seek the blessings of Srimati Radharani. By her mercy, by her blessings, our bhakti will become completely successful. So I'll just end with there are 25 qualities of Srimati Radharani mentioned in CC. She is a abode of infinite divine qualities, but the 25 very prominent ones are mentioned, and I will just mention the 5 qualities which acronyms to word Radha. Okay? So we can meditate on these qualities, elaborate these qualities. This could be another class in itself, but I am just ending on that note. So the 5 divine qualities are, she is respectful to the seniors. So all those seniors, then Braja, to her, she is very respectful. A, affectionate to all her friends, Lalita, Vishakha, and so on. D, dexterous, very expert in singing, cooking, dressing, very dexterous, very expert. H, though she is so expert, she is very humble. H for humility or humble. And A, she is always very fresh and youthful. Just like yesterday, I remember Vaisheshika Prabhu was here, and Himangi Radha Mataji came to meet Vaisheshika Prabhu, and she said, "You're always so fresh." So by her blessings of Radharani, the devotees can always be fresh and youthful. So that's another great quality. So in this way, she's the divine of, she's the abode of so many divine qualities, and we on this day we seek her blessings, and especially we desire that we can dedicate our life to fulfill the desire of Prabhupada, and in this way become the recipient of Srimati Radharani's causeless mercy. Jai Shri Caitanya-Caritāmṛta ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Would like to request comments from the senior devotees. Any corrections? Any reflection if anyone wants to share or... yes, Prabhu, you can take the mic.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much. It's a beautiful class. This adjective, life of my life, I still can't fully understand what it means. Can you explain a bit more?
Okay. Life of my life. So basically, the body is dear, the possessions are dear in this world to people. This is how Shukadeva Goswami has also explained. In this world, the objects are dear to people because they have some relationship with this body. So one level of Atma, the Atma has many, Atma sometimes is translated as soul, Atma, but the Atma Shabd is applied at various levels. Body is also called Atma in Sanskrit. The mind is also called Atma. The intelligence is also called Atma. So there are several meanings of the word Atma in general. So the objects are dear because they are in relationship to the body, which is also Atma. And the body is dear because it is in relationship to the soul. Because as soon as the soul leaves, no one wants to keep the body. The husband may have stayed, or the couple may have stayed with each other for 40 years, 50 years. They may have celebrated, golden anniversary. But then they will not stay one extra night when the soul leaves the body. So, because body is dear as long as the soul is there. And the soul is dear because there is the soul of the soul. Super soul. So in this way we see, therefore we understand the soul of the soul. The soul is there because soul and soul is Krishna. And the soul of Krishna is Srimati Radharani, the life of. So we are going deeper down like that. So this is how we can just get some glimpse, some understanding. Hare Krishna. Yes, Aman Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you so much for the wonderful class. You mentioned the point that when we serve sadhus or anyone genuinely with our sincerity, without distincting,
Not without distinction, we should distinguish, but even if there is some discrepancy, let me again say, we should not just anyone consider anyone a sadhu and start serving. But yes, we have a faith in serving of devotees, even if we are serving someone, considering that person to be a pure devotee, even if that person is not so pure, but if our faith is pure, still we get the full result. Right? But we should try to find out, use our intelligence and discretion to invest, to deal with different devotees, to serve those who are exalted, to associate with those who are advanced than us. So our discretion remains on, not just blindly. But even if there is some discrepancy on the other side, but our faith is pure, still we get a good deal of result. Right? So it's our faith also that matters a lot in getting the result. So that's the understanding.
So how should we distinguish, Prabhuji? Because on one side, we say, or it's been told that we should understand that I'm the if there's a list of devotees, I'm in the
yes, I'm the lowest. I'm at the lowest.
So how should we distinguish?
Yes, so that is out of humility. We should practice that. We should know that everyone is more advanced than me. But similarly, we should see those who inspire my heart, those advanced devotees. So we consider everyone better than us and offer all respects. Okay, so that's there. Then we use our intelligence and discretion to see who are the devotees who are really exemplary and they touch my heart. They really inspire my heart. You associate with them. Right? So that way. So 3 levels of association. Serve them, equal also have friendly relationship. And then although we consider everyone is better than us, still those who we know, those who have come to new to Krishna consciousness using our discretion, we help them to be advanced further also. So therefore practical dealings will be with proper discretion, though we consider everyone as better than us and we are servants of all levels of devotees. So that is the internal mood. One is internal mood, one is external action and dealings based on discretion. Both are hand in hand, both are compatible and should be practiced together. Okay, thank you, Hare Krishna. Okay, so Prayojan Prabhu wants to add something.
It's a reflection on Govinda Swami, his expression towards Srimati Radharani in the form of a banyan tree. A banyan tree has its branches going down, and then further branches. Her associates, her sakhis, and they are her support for the main banyan tree. He relates in that way, and the same with the spiritual master. He has disciples, but if they follow, they can be the same. They can be his sakhis. They can be his associates. And it's a nice reflection that he gives, that the spiritual master depends on his disciples. So that's a nice reflection.
Thank you for sharing the reflection. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prayojan Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Regarding that example of Srila Prabhupada's father, one quick question, Prabhuji. Let's say we have some bad experience with some sadhu. Let's say within our devotee community only. So as a result, what happens, or what may happen is, out of sadhu, guru and shastra, our faith in guru and shastra will remain intact, but our faith in sadhus gets shaken.
Yes.
And as a result, our progress in Krishna consciousness becomes slow.
Yes.
So what can we do, or should we do, to get back that faith in the service of sadhus so that our progress is back on track?
Okay, good question. Because scriptures are perfect, and of course Guru is also, we naturally respect the Guru, and Guru's position is also very elevated. So we usually we don't see fault, and we don't even interact very closely as such, with the spiritual master. very intimately. So therefore we don't tend to see faults there. We interact more closely with the devotees. And sadhu means all the devotees are sadhus as such. So those who are practicing bhakti, they all are sadhus. So how do we still keep faith in the sadhus, in the devotees, and have desire to serve and please them? There's one poet who has written, I don't remember the name, I heard from someone. The poet has written, "London, with all thy faults, I still love you." Right? So, we need to just consider this. Devotees may have faults. Kalo dosh nidhe Rajan. There's nothing great in seeing faults because they're very obvious. But we have to understand that the faults are superficial and bhakti is the main substance. So the faults will gradually go away. The seeing fault is like after prasadam, devotees are standing in queue to wash their hands. And someone says, "Oh, muchi, dirty hands, and not wash the hands. So dirty. With dirty hand a person is standing." No, but the person is in the queue. So when a person is standing in the queue, waiting to wash the hand, and someone is criticizing that the person has the hands dirty, it doesn't make sense. We all are in the queue. We have come to Krishna consciousness movement. We all will be purified by this process of bhakti. So therefore there is no point in seeing any faults, because these faults will be removed. Only the good quality will prevail. Only the bhakti will prevail. So we need to have that faith and invest that faith. And Lord Chaitanya says, "Ihate ye dosh dekhe tahara se dosh." One who sees fault is first the fault of one's own vision, because we only see things superficially. Therefore, seeing fault is the fault of our vision. And then he says, seeing fault is a greater fault than the fault itself, because that fault will go away very soon. But our fault will not go away so soon. This is aparad. It becomes, seeing fault also leads to aparad. Of course, we see in a constructive way to really help somebody out of, that's another thing. We have a service and they're just separate. But in general, just to look fault here and there and think this devotee is like this, like that, and judgmental attitude. That actually, stuns or that jeopardizes our progress in bhakti. That checks our progress. So therefore, we have to go little deeper. As long as we see things superficially, we will be stuck. So see from the eyes of, don't see from charma chakshu, see from shastra chakshu. The three kind of eyes. Charma chakshu, it leads to all aparadha and all that, seeing things in an ordinary way. But see from shastra chakshu, till you develop prema chakshu, even deeper vision, where one causelessly loves the devotees. Absolutely. Just like one loves the Supreme Lord, one also causelessly loves the devotees of the Lord, whatever fault may be there. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Okay, there are many questions, hands raised, but I would like to officially now bring the class to the closure. But I'm available here. We can discuss. Those devotees who have services, want to, take breakfast and attend to your services, you please.
From the internet, somebody wants to ask you something.
Oh, acha. Okay, I am here only. The devotees are sitting here, and I'll connect to their question online. The online question I can connect online also. So I appreciate the question, and as I said, soon I'll connect with this question. But those who want to discuss anything further, I am available here. We can continue the discussion. Others, please feel free to leave the classroom. Absolutely. There won't be any impoliteness in doing so. Right? Hare Krishna. Yes, but we can continue. Yes, Prabhu. Then you can take the microphone. After Prabhu, yeah.
The microphone.
Yes.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. There's one statement from Srila Prabhupada, if I remember it correctly, it says that one should not serve a jealous person in the dress of a Vaishnava. What does a jealous person mean? How do you define that? Or how do you identify such a person?
Okay, jealous means envy. That envy. So a person who is envious, yes, like the Bhagavatam says, Modeta sadhurupi vrishchika sarpa hatya. The sadhus are happy when envious, like those serpents and snakes who are envious, causelessly envious, who just want to harm others, even they are killed. Even the sadhus take pleasure. But sadhus take pleasure means those who have no envy in their heart, they can take pleasure. Not that we start taking pleasure. So there is a clause over there. Those who are free from envy, even they take pleasure in seeing those who are envious when they are killed. And Srila Bhaktivedanta Thakur himself ordered once. And there was a poisonous snake in the matha, and he said, you can kill the snake. Yes, so the envious means those who just causelessly try to harm others, bring others down. So there could be some few, but I would say among the society of devotees, 99.99% all devotees, they have good intention. They are not envious. They may have shortcomings, they may have bad habits, conditionings, but devotees, to think that some devotees are envious of me, that will be, and most of the time, as I said, 99.99%, that will be a wrong assumption, and that could be very detrimental to our progress. So therefore devotees may sometimes speak or act in the wrong way, but mostly the devotees have good intentions. They are sincere, they want to serve. They have come here to hear, chant, glorify and serve. They have not come to put others down. It may happen, because of them some other may be put in trouble because we may not have sufficient training, we may not have sufficient sensitivity in dealing and so on and so forth, whatever it is. Right? It happens that unknowingly we may hurt others, and therefore this devotee care course is designed for that we may be more sensitive to understand the different devotees, their different needs, their diverse needs, and be more, kind to them, more supportive of them, so that these kind of misunderstandings do not come. But yes, so that is a very exceptional case. Someone who is envious, wants to intentionally harm or put down somebody, then we don't want to serve such people, even though they are in the guise of a Vaishnava. Okay? Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhu. And I'll come back to you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you
Hare
so much
Krishna.
for such a nice class. I'm having a bit problem with understanding the chronology of the storyline, how it goes. Like when Uddhava was sent by Krishna to visit Vrindavan, as the Krishna book says and 10th canto says, it was in Mathura when he just came back from his Gurukul, and at that time, before the attacks of Jarasandh, Krishna sends Uddhava to meet the Vrajvasis. So is it how it goes? Because I know that chronology in our Shastra is not as it is like, so I'm having a bit of problem understanding it.
Oh, the way he's sent from Mathura, I'll have to see the reference. I thought he was sent from Dwarka. Huh? Mathura. Oh, Bhagavatam says that is Mathura. Oh, okay. So, so then, I thought I'll just refer it once again. Sometimes there are difference in details also, Kalpapeda and all that. That could be there. So in Vishwanath Thakur's commentary, I have read that how, in order to remove the subtle pride, then if not Dwarkavadi, then it can be Yadus. That we are very fortunate. So in that sense, the pride of the Yadus, if that Mathura detail is true. So it's possible, what you are saying, we accept that, and then the pride of the Yadus was removed through Uddhava. Right? Okay.
Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Balram Leela Prabhu.
Thank you so much for thank you so much for the wonderful class. Just regarding Srila Prabhupada's father's pastime that you said, I thought in a practical way, if we see, maybe we could relate it to. It was a wonderful insight that you gave. It was really amazing. I wanted to apply that. So we can see that Srila Prabhupada's father could have had the option also. He also would have had the idea that the sadhus are not absolutely perfect in this. But he understood that they are seniors in the sense that they are sadhus. He took them as seniors and he served them in order to get the blessings of Radharani for his son. It's a practical thing we see in our thing also, that there may be either limitations in people whom we work under or serve under. Sometimes our own vision may be incorrect Then maybe not be limitations, first of all. But secondly, there could be also. Because, everybody, as you said, is a work in progress. But still the idea that if my desire to serve, I try to purify, and I follow the principle of serving the seniors, then, there is a direct connection with the Lord also. It's like both. That's how I try to see it. So I'm trying to get your insights. That there is a connection through the seniors who may or may not be having their limitations. But at the same time, there is a direct connection. So even if there is some limitation in the seniors, but if my desire is sincere, then the Lord or Srila Prabhupada or Guru can bless because my desire is sincere. Otherwise, a lot of times, I may get discouraged, discontinue, or do other things because I feel that the person I am trying to directly serve may have some limitations, which I might be wrong myself again in that, but even if I'm right. But if that, so that, for me, practically, I have tried to see if that is, I was just thinking in a practical way, I should not be discouraged because somebody else, if you have any insights on that.
I would just add one small thing, and I once asked His Holiness Radhana Swami Maharaj after one management meeting, I said, Maharaj, there is one decision that has been taken. I simply can't agree and follow this management decision because it's not correct. How can you follow something when you know that it's not correct? Right? I asked him this question. He said, because their intentions are correct. Even if their decision is not correct, but their intentions are correct. Believe that those who are appointed, they have taken the decision for the betterment. Their decision may be correct, may not be correct. The time will reveal whether they are correct or you are correct. That time will reveal. But since their intentions are correct, so better you follow this decision and cooperate, and you can express your concerns and everything. Fine. And if it turns out their decision is not correct, their respect for you will increase because you still followed them. And if their decision is correct, your respect for them should increase. Right? That I was unnecessarily objected. So follow, and that will be better for both of the parties. Both will progress. So the harmony, right? So that harmony, there's one specific case, maybe management decision sometimes, I'm just not in making a general blanket statement, but he gave some siddhant over here. Because their intentions are correct, even if sometimes I firmly believe this is not correct. That particular decision, he said, you better follow it. For your good, for overall good. That's what, probably a personal thing. I don't say that everyone should apply that, or, I'm supporting all management decisions over here. So don't take it in any other way. Just that our own attitude also matters a lot, basically. Our attitude matters a lot. Hare Krishna, yes. Mother Jhulan Devi. Jhulan-lilā. Oh, I keep calling you by a wrong name. You didn't corrected me yesterday.
I thought I'll
because we have Jhulan Yatra when we call the festival name, but Jhulan-lilā Devi. Sorry.
I just wanted to add something for internal meditation on that topic in Bhagavatam 3.16.11. Krishna is saying, I am controlled by those who praise Brahmanas who have committed offense, and even more than that, please them. I am controlled by those who worship the Brahmanas who utter harsh words. They see the Brahmanas as non-different from me and remain satisfied even by harsh words. It's a bit high standard to go for, but
yes,
this is how the Lord would think. This is how the way how Krishna thinks is completely different in how we function materially with our ego. So just to please the Lord, seeing the super soul in them, practice. But
that can be internal, and externally, if we are really disturbed, we can express, to senior that I'm feeling hurt in this and this way. We can express our emotion, but internally, we should know that when we take that stance, somehow we tolerate, even though someone has spoken harshly, knowing that probably I may have spoken harshly to someone else and something like that. We take that internal stance of what Lord indicates, that is pleasing, But externally, if required, we may need to involve someone to see that we are really affected in that sense. Right? So the situation can be dealt internally and externally at both levels. That is always helpful. Right? So one is internal feeling, one other is external dealing. Hare Krishna. Thank you for sharing that. He's speaking to Jai Vijay.
3.16.11.
3.16.11. Yes, there was another hand raised. Yes, Mother.
I heard the devotees explain that although there are many qualities of a Vaishnava described in the literature, the most important is that they're fully engaged in the service of Krishna. They accept Krishna as a Supreme Lord. In the Bhagavad Gita also there's that verse, Apichet Sudaracharo, that even if one commits the most sinful, most abominable action, if he's properly situated in his determination in devotional service, then he is to be accepted as saintly.
Yes.
And he quickly becomes
a
devotee.
Perfect reference in what we have been discussing. Hare Krishna. So thank you once again for your enthusiastic participation and your patient hearing. Very grateful to you. Jai Shri Caitanya-Caritāmṛta ki Jai, Shri Shri Radha Gokulanand ki Jai, Sitaram Lakshan Hanuman ki Jai, Shri Shri Gaur Nitai ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande. Hare Krishna. The verse 13.150 Adi-lila 13.
Original, the first.
This is the verse we discussed today. Hare Krishna. Yes.
He is my Patradeshika Guru, my Jijaji.
You met me several times. Yes.
Wonderful class today. What was